Shalom, shalom. This is the brother Amar Rakar, back with another lesson. And first and foremost, as always, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakar HaKodash. Double honors goes out to the apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and blessings to the elect, 144,000. And blessings also upon the great multitude destined also for salvation. So, as you can see in the title of this little video, and disclaimer, this is just for educational purposes, so I don't want anyone trying to take it down or copyright or whatever nonsense. But yeah, this woman, a lot of you have heard of this African diaspora news channel. They're half in, half out. Or I wouldn't even say half in. They know certain things. They've dealt with Bishop Nathaniel, IUIC, and all of that. So they know the truth of who we are. And the guy who runs his name's Philip Scott or something like that. And for some reason, I'm just going to mention this. He tends to employ a lot of women on his channels for whatever reason. And she's going to explain that about this Tucker Carlson video, but I've skipped all of that just to get to the point of what he's going to say, which is he's going to just basically be astonished and refute the claims of us being the true people of Israel, even though he's seen that the evidence from Russia, man, regarding those Russian icon pictures of the prophets in Yahweh Shai, the apostles and all of that good stuff. And it's just a matter of fact that that's the way the world works, that everything is believed with what you're told instead of reading, man. The scriptures can tell you multiple places, and I'm only going to get a few because you only need to get a few, that the people of the Lord, the Israelites, were dark skinned, man, or are dark skinned people, man. And she's going to mention the scriptures as well, but I'm not going to let her do all that talking on that because she's not meant to be telling us nothing, man. No disrespect or anything, but that's just facts. That's the scriptures, man. So yeah, let's just play it.
On a platform recently, discussing his interview with Vladimir Putin. Watch this.
I was like, I really felt like we were just speaking so far past each other that we would never come to. I was like, I don't even know what the hell you're talking about, and and especially when I decided or concluded that he really meant it, I was like, that's just too freaking weird to me. I was interviewing a guy one time, and he started talking about the black Israelites, and we're the real Jews, and I was like, and it wasn't on camera, but I was like, it was so far out to me that I was like, we'll never kind of understand common terms on that.
Okay, family, did you see that?
Right, I want to stop it there because she's going to start kind of teaching, and that's not allowed. But you see the astonishment so you see the look on the other guy's face, and he's apparently a so-called JOO, and he looked shook, man, because he probably knows the truth. And Tucker Carlson probably knows the truth anyway, man, because he's a paid provocateur, man. He's a paid agent provocateur. All right, so he probably knows anyway. He's just out here trying to refute it publicly, because the truth is coming up, man. There's men all over the world, whether they be in GMS or IUIC or ISUPK or GOCC or HOI, whatever you want to say, whoever you want to call, they're there, man. Now, they're not all teaching the same thing, but they're all teaching one thing in common, which is the Israelites are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right? And also mixed among the other nations, right? So it's like damage control right now. it doesn't really matter. There's no control that you can have over the situation, because the truth is going to come out. Everyone's going to see it, right? We're just waiting for that moment, man. They're all going to see Yahweh Shai. They're going to see what he looks like, man. All right? And it shows that these people only like to, like I said, they only like to know what they're told and what they hear, and not what they actually see for themselves. The scriptures tell you, some places it's more cryptic, but some places it's blatantly obvious, man. All right? So, yeah, man. It's these and they're coming out with all these new laws to do with anti-sem business, laws and all of that stuff, because they're getting, it's getting heated now. The heat is on. The heat is on them, man. That they're under the microscope. Because now you got people calling them out, saying how they're not even behaving like they're supposed to behave. If they are the said people, the chosen, yeah. So anyway, let's just read some scriptures, man. So I'll start at Hosea 1 and 10. It says, "Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass, that in the place where it was said unto them, Ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, Ye are the sons of the living power." Right? So, and that's basically talking about America, and that's where he is from. That's where he is, man. Right? So now, there's our people know, man. The majority of our people, I will say, whether or not they believe it or not, have heard this. They've heard this, man. They've heard this truth, right? Now, we know it's not for the majority, we know it's for the elect, but they've heard it. Once you hear something like that, it stays in your mind whether or not you want to believe it or not. There's you got the the Sambos, man, out there that don't want to believe it, man. They don't want to be any more than what they are, which is just at the bottom of the barrel Sambos, man. Right? But like I said, anyway, this is for the elect, man. Alright, anyway, let's read on. It says, verse 11 says, "Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together, and appoint themselves one head, and they shall come up out of the land, for great shall be the day of Jezreel." And we have come together, man. We've come together on the streets, right? And on this internet, pushing this word, right? So now you have people from, you'll see a lot of so-called blacks and Latinos, right, together. But there's other people. Or I should say, there's brothers that look like they're other races joined onto camps as well, man. All right, I'll put it like that. We know it's about the seed of the Father, man. So the lineage can go back, and the scriptures talk about the elect being called from, all over the earth, man. All nations, right? Let's quickly get, I read this a lot, but it tends to make a good point. Psalms 83, right? And this is the reason why this is the reason why we're called the hidden ones, man. Right? And it's going to talk about it. So Psalms 83 says, "Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh, for lo, thine enemies make a tumult," right? "And they that hate thee have lifted up their head." And for those that don't know what tumult is, I'll quickly get the blue letter, right?
Strong's H 1993. Hama.
So it says to murmur, growl, roar, cry aloud, mourn, rage, sound, make noise, basically, be clamorous, be disquieted, be troubled, right? Basically, they've all come together and in an uproar, basically, against us, saying, how can we destroy these people, man? Because if we don't destroy them, they're gonna take us, man. They're gonna take over. Their power's gonna come. They're gonna take over, and they're gonna do unto us what we did unto them, obviously righteously, as we know, but they don't know that because they're wicked, right? So they fear that, man. They fear the takeover. You know, Public Enemy had an album out, man, back in the 80s when I was a youth. It was called Fear of a Black Planet, man. And we don't call ourselves black, and we're gonna get into that, man. Right, first and foremost, and I should have said that earlier, because we're not black Hebrew Israelites, man. We're Hebrew Israelites. We're not black, man. Even though the scriptures are gonna describe us at times as that, right? But we are dark-skinned people. It says they have taken crafty counsel against our people and consulted against our hidden ones, right? The hidden ones, man. We have been, because we've been hidden for some time now. You know, before probably 40 years ago plus maybe, we were hidden, man. The world didn't know, about Hebrew Israelites. We weren't on the streets. Our people didn't know what they know now there was always some people that knew. There's always some people that had the knowledge passed to them to whatever degree. But as a whole, we were lost, man. Right? And it says, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. Well, you think that in the Vatican they don't have the true depictions and the true knowledge of who the true people of Yahweh Shem Yahushua? Right? There's pictures I've seen of them praying to a depiction of a dark-skinned Yahweh man. So they know. It says, for they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. So they're against us, man. So they've come together to withhold the truth from us. Right? Why does he feel it's so necessary to go on a TV show and say that? Because he wants to spread the message, like to say, don't listen to these people, man. Don't listen to these so-called black Hebrew Israelites. It's all bull. That's what he's trying to say. He's trying to make out Vladimir Putin to be crazy. So where did those paintings come from, man? Who decided to just paint those paintings, right? Do you honestly think them people out there pretending to be us, man, have a very high rate of skin cancer due to the fact that they cannot deal with the sun out there? All right. It's simply a matter of them being converts. That's all it is. And it was all for our punishment, man. That taking away of our heritage, man. That's amongst the curses, man. I could get into a lot more, but it's just I just want to make this simple. Let's get some more. Let's bring out them couple of them them scriptures of describing, Yahweh Shah, Yahweh, and all of that good stuff, man. Might as well do that. Let's quickly Revelation 1 and 13, and I'll start straight from there. And it says, and in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, which is obviously Yahweh Shai, clothed with a garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps with a golden girdle. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire. So people will read that. People who want to control the narrative would read that and say, oh, well, it says his head and his head was white. No, well, when you're talking about someone's head, you mean the head of hair. Because you wouldn't describe, if I said to someone, describe his head, they're not going to talk about the person's face. So that's talking about the hair on his head, right? And it says, verse 15, these are milk ones buying that to us now, man. All right, we were teaching this Obviously, I'm still a young man in this truth, albeit my worldly age, but I'm still a young man in this truth. Obviously, the elders, the apostles and the elder bishops have been teaching this for longer than me. But I'm just saying that when I first come into this, which was a few years back now, this is what we were teaching, man. We were always going into this because it was that spirit, man, at the time. So that's why I say now it's kind of like to us it's like a milk scripture. But it says, verse 15, and his feet like unto fine brass, right? As if they burned in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters. You can't get around that. Even if, and people get so desperate, they'll say, well, that's just talking about his feet. But it talks about the hair, man, like wool. Because you have to really, and to be honest, it seems obvious now to us, but when you really look at it, it's cryptic. It says his head and his hairs were white like wool, right? But that's describing it in two points. The color of it, like the white wool on the sheep. Also, the texture, man. Because why would you choose wool to describe it when you could use anything? It could have said white like snow, right? So, and that would have you would have just come to the conclusion that it was describing the color alone. But it says wool to describe the texture of Yahweh's hair, right? And and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace, right? So you've got brass, and now you've blackened it. Basically, you burnt it. Anything that you burn anything, it goes dark, man. All right, there's no getting around that carbon, man. And his voice as the sound of many waters, right? So that's it on that one. Let's quickly go to the book of Daniel 7 and 9. And it says ahead of there, it says the Ancient of Day reigns. The Ancient of Days is Yahweh, man, the Heavenly Father, the Creator, the beginning and the end, man. The everlasting power who's always been here and will always be. Right? Daniel 7 and 9, I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow. See, now you see the difference. It doesn't say whose garment was white as wool, because it's just describing the color of the garment, man. And now it tells you the texture, right? And the hair of his head like the pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. So that's just another killer scripture for that, man. And at the end of the day, I'll say this again. We don't care whether you believe who we are or not. It doesn't matter to us, man. We're not out here trying to prove to you. Like, we might want to do that with the peons that want to come up and disrepute it for the sake of edification alone, man. But that's all it is. We don't care what you believe. We know the truth. And we know through the Spirit, man, who we are. We've been called into this thing spiritually, man. Brothers have gone through all sorts to just be a part of this, man. Once they were called, man. And are still going through things to this day. And we will be and it's going to get worse until Yahweh comes back to redeem us, man. So this isn't a light-hearted thing, man. So one of the last things we really care about is whether you believe us or not, man. We're not out here to be believed. We're just out here to teach the word, so we can teach the word and escape the incoming destruction that's coming, man. And we can please Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, and we can call out to the elect, man. Listen, Lord willing, I'll say this not to tempt, but the Lord could take me out of this thing, and it's not going to stop it from going on, is it? What I'm trying to say is that, well, no matter what happens, this truth is going to prevail, right? Lord willing, I am in it to the end, man. As I said, I'm not trying to tempt, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua by any means. I'm just trying to make a point. So anyway, let's get one more of the color scriptures. I haven't read this one in a long time. This is Solomon, it says, Songs of Solomon 1 and 5, it says, I am black, but comely, O ye daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar, as the curtains of Solomon. So let's quickly look at that a minute. So first off, let's go to the word black.
Strong's H, 7838, Shachor, Shachor. And second entry, Shachor, Shachor.
And then also, I think there's, let me just check this one. Yeah.
Strong's H, 6938, Kedar, Kedar.
So that means dark, alright? So the description is of a dark complexion, man. Alright? That's all I'm gonna read on. That's all, you know. So basically, I could get loads more. I could get the ones about, you know, Paul being confused as being thought as an Egyptian. Moses blending with the Egyptians, you know, because, you know, as we know, our ancient oppressors, man, were dark skinned, man. They're not the people living there now. All right. Anyway, let's quickly just get a couple more scriptures, and I'll close down. I want to read this just to show that ultimately it's not even about color, man. It's not. So Isaiah 11:11 says, and it shall come to pass that in that day, the Lord. So let me read that again. It shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again, the second time, to recover the remnant of his people. So the first time was what? You know, Egypt, man. You know, that escaped from the bondage of Egypt, man. And now then, you know, the next time is going to be the escape from the coming destruction with those missiles and the UFOs, man. Yahushua's return. So it says that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt and from Pathros and from Cush, from Elam, from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea. So everywhere, man. So you can go to a lot of places in the world and you won't necessarily see people that look like us, or many people that look like us. Very few in certain places, but we are everywhere, man. Right? It's going to say, and he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. Meaning the whole earth. Actually, I'll get one more color scripture, man. And this is a good one because it really does show you, you know, the descriptions, man. That's why it's good to go into this blue letter. It's not always on point. Acts 13:1, it says, now there were in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas and Simeon, that was called Niger, right? Or Niger, some people say, right? So let's just get what was the meaning of that. So they were called Niger, man, or Niger, however you want to say it.
Strong's G 3526. Niger. Niger.
He's basically saying nigger, man. Standard. He's basically saying nigger. Alright. And what does it mean? Black. So there you have it. Alright. And you know, so sometimes we use these things just for educational purposes, man. We don't really. Why do we care about what Tucker Carlson's got to say, man? He's going into captivity, man. With the rest of them Edomites, man. Because he's the Edomite, man. There's no doubt about that. Spirit screams it, man. He always tries to act like he's objective, man. But, you know, we know where he lies and what side he's on, man. Anyway, Lord willing, this is edifying. I'll finish by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakah Kodash. And, yeah, man. Double honors to the apostles, man, and the elder bishops as well. And peace and blessings to the elect, man. Shalom.